Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot. With the Queen of Wands, I pulled from the African Tarot deck, describing your incredible confidence, your incredible heart and passion. This is about you taking leadership of yourself, taking ownership of your life, following the inspirations that you're receiving, and moving forward in a way that motivates you and inspires others, so that you are following the guidance of spirit. You've invested in your beliefs, in your faith, your trust, in the talents and skills that you have, in the experiences you've learned from, and that is what is moving you forward at this time in the most inspired, enthusiastic, excited way possible. This is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate for all Capricorns. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. In your present energy, we have the Fool card. And the Fool is really describing the way in which you have moved on to this path of trust and faith. This has been, for many of you, a lifetime's work of learning to trust, of learning that all of the unconditional love that you require, you're able to give to yourself. And this may be in repair of those relationships that have failed you in many ways. Those relationships in which you were not given the confidence that you were worthy or deserving of the love and success that you desire. And having detached yourself from those powerful cords and bonds from those that loved you to the best of their ability, but were not able to provide you with what you uniquely required in order to find yourself and your vision. You're now in a place where you don't need a destination in order to live in the flow and the abundance of the world. You simply are on your path wherever you feel you are led, in a way that is gaining you the sense of adventure, joy, and present moment stability that you have looked for, the security of love that you have looked for most of your life. In the past, the Page of Swords is a beautiful card that is reminding you of the limits of your knowledge. This is a powerful indicator where we recognize the limitation of our knowledge and skills, and where we begin to take notes, we begin to observe others, we find teachers, we begin to follow the modeling of others around us. We are observant, we are still with what it is we observe without letting our emotions cloud our objective observation. Yet our intuition is active. It's not as though we're shutting our feelings down here. We're simply knowing that we are in a new terrain. We're in a new landscape. We're in a new environment. We're experiencing the world from a new perspective, a new version of ourselves. And in that way, there is much to learn. And this indicates your openness in simply following your truth, pursuing what you know is right for you. In the future, the Tower. How exciting, Capricorn. And now that we have moved out of Pluto's vast domination over our resources, internal and external, we are now prepared to understand and recognize when the universe, in all of its chaos and collapse, is creating a way for us a way for us to move things, impact things in a direction that allows us to participate, to engage our voices, to direct our energies in a way that begins to fill our vision. And this is where you have the opportunity to implement a better way. And this is quite likely a way that was not recognized because it was so unconventional, so out of touch with the herd thinking of many people. It was so rebellious, such an iconoclastic view, that now you're actually seeing the receptivity of those around you for listening to your ideas, uh, following your suggestions that have been always clear to you as advancing the support and the access to resources for all people. This is about inclusiveness, not exclusiveness. And you are in some way leading the charge in that regard. If this reading is resonating for you, Capricorn, please like this video. Please share this with others, and please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It has meant a lot to me to be able to be here still and to be looking forward with enchantment, with excitement, with enthusiasm towards continuing to grow our relationship and my presence in this medium. So thank you to all of you who support me in all the ways that you do. And I pulled the forgiveness card. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. This is a fairly deep message for those Capricorns who have assumed the role of provider, caretaker, the responsible one who takes accountability for others and then burns out and then is frustrated or feels betrayed because of the lack of recognition or reward for the effort you've put in, and who assumes the responsibility of all tasks and yet resents the uneven participation of others, so that supporting the success of others has left you empty and in many cases quite bitter. Even if you have superficially understood and accepted the flow of resources to others for whom you've worked, it can still haunt you in retrospect and looking back at experiences in the past and recognizing anew, or perhaps for the first time, that you were played in some way or another, that you were taken for granted, that you always left with a feeling of abandonment, of the people who had invited you in not standing by or up for you. So the sense of resentment is one that is like a steady poison that has blocked your appreciation of yourself and your efforts, and the assumption that in fact those lessons taught you something about yourself, and that those are the things that you are bringing in, the lessons, the love, the observation, the wisdom you've gained as a result of those experiences, not the replaying or the retreading of bitter memories. I'm going to clarify the Fool with the Five of Swords and the Scribe of Cups, which is like the Page of Cups. And this is clarifying the Fool because I believe it's really building upon the very idea of bitter memories, resentful memories, because as you know, the fool carries the bag of memories with him. That's all they carry. And so your ability to cultivate the best memories or understand your memories at the highest level is important to purging you of that sense of toxicity that has blocked you from enjoying your talents in your life. And this is absolutely about letting go of the fights, the arguments, the disagreements, the ways that others have labeled you and you have resisted that instead of simply releasing it. The Scribe of Cups, the Page of Cups, is about instead the heart opening that has been required of you towards yourself. And that goes back to the idea of forgiveness, right? We have to forgive ourselves for our uh, resentment, our hostility, our anger towards those who have done us dirty in the past, in the ancient past, or those with whom we're still deeply connected, who we carry resentments about something that was done to us in the past that blocks us from appreciating the lessons learned and the necessity to simply detach from those relationships or those aspects of relationships that don't serve us. This is what is lightening your heart, scouring you of that toxicity, that bitterness that in fact was keeping you back from going on this beautiful journey of your own exploration, your own success, your own abundance. The Page of Swords in the past is clarified with the Tower again and the Ace of Cups. This is incredibly beautiful because this, in clarifying the Page of Cups, where you recognize you're limited in your ability to understand sometimes or to gain the wisdom from experiences that were deeply damaging to you, those that seem to ruin you, disrupt your best attempt at love, has actually been an incredible blessing. You had needed to purge yourself from whatever the facade of your life was in the past. Whatever path you were on, perhaps you were treading it in a way that was not authentic to who you are. Perhaps you were perceived by others in a way that was inauthentic to what your intention was. And this can indicate that others simply weren't caught up to you at the time. And this can be decades past, depending upon where you are in your life. But there is the possibility that your sincere effort was not received because it wasn't strategic. It was not somehow cognizant of the forces that existed around you, and that you were viewed with resentment and hostility. And in some way, you may have internalized that or felt yourself the victim in a way that is absolutely not true, right? You have the power to change whatever you want by changing yourself within. And this feels like a time of incredible release so that you can experience this love. And this can be a passion. This can be your talent, a talent perhaps that you fought to express in a way that supports you, is healthy to you, that brings you joy. In the future, the Tower here again is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. So here we are. Finally, after a lot of wreck and ruin, it feels like in your material world, a lot of changes forced upon you, a lot of disruptions to one path or another that seemed to be so promising, you've actually stopped and begun to clarify your own path of abundance, your own legacy, by releasing yourself from the role as fixer that was assigned to you. As a Capricorn, this is probably quite familiar to you in so many ways, and the language or words may be different or specific for each of you, but the idea that you can take care of all the things that need to be taken care of when they need to be taken care of by others, with little regard for how it impacts you, or for you taking little regard for where it fits into your plans, your goals, your direction. You've now understood that you require space to work from your place of strength and your place of gift, your place of passion. And that space must be protected so that you can focus on what it is you desire. And what it is you desire is nothing short of a better life in a better world. What you don't do just for you. That is part of the training that you've received in this lifetime, to understand that you can impact others through your actions. I'm going to finish up this reading, Capricorn, with a flora and fauna of Africa, my always homage to the motherland and Mother Earth. And I pulled the water buffalo, whose key word is gratitude, and that beautiful water lily on the back that frames the head of the water buffalo. So elements of water, feeling, our emotions, the validity of our feelings, uh, learning how to use those as a gauge for our happiness, our success, being on the right path. You are part of a greater whole. With determination and gratitude, prosperity and abundance will manifest. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Until next time, namaste.